All right, ladies and gentlemen, how you guys doing today? I was supposed to have my little waiting board in, but I messed it up a little bit, so we're fine. We're fine. There's no waiting. We're just getting right into this one because Josh screwed up. Hopefully, the little ad before that made it so it wasn't super awkward. Obviously, I've been away for a little bit, but hopefully you guys are doing well today. If you guys are, be sure to say hello in the chat. We are here today for our Canadian men's national team January World Cup qualifying window recap. I haven't been able to be with you guys for a little bit. Obviously, I was on a cruise. Didn't miss the two games. I wasn't able to do the watch-alongs and chat with you guys for two of the matches, but I thought it'd be fun to get together now and talk with you guys. And Producer T had some fun and with the new look. Let me know if you like it. Producer T nailed it. But yeah, basically we're just gonna chat today, guys. I missed you guys for the watch-alongs. It was really weird doing the Canadian men's national team watch-along by myself. I've done every single one with you guys. I've done a watch-along on every single Canadian men's national team match since the very first World Cup qualifying one in Bermuda. So these were the first two we weren't able to do with you guys. And it was, it was a little sad, but it was a lot of fun seeing all of the incredible emotion on Twitter and all over the place. And we're just here now to recap it. We've pretty much qualified for the World Cup. There's an article I read about how there's a way that we could qualify even losing against Costa Rica, but that's how close that we actually are to pulling it off. But let's get in the comments and see how you guys are doing today. If you guys are just joining us, be sure to drop a like, say hello as well. I missed you guys, and hopefully you guys are feeling pretty good. As Kelly's tuning in, said, can't wait for this one. Some JJD TV emojis. 2 lives in 1 day. Canada is real. Let's go. We literally got it all, dudes. It's pretty cool, man. It was pretty cool. I really, really missed being live especially for the US game, because the tactical manager dubs we know of. No one loved from Filippo. But it was wild. It was wild to be able to beat the U.S. without Davies, because you know how Twitter is. One of the biggest comments, just for fun, is you have one player. It's just Davies. Well, 9-point window means World Cup. We're on the edge. We're on the edge of the World Cup. Incredible scenes. A 9-point window, the first 9-point window of World Cup qualifying, puts us 4 points clear. We're so close to the official qualification. This country about to go wild. Yeah, I'm not sure if I want to go to Toronto on hopefully the day after, once we qualify, and try to meet up with some fans and do some stuff like that. It'll depend on COVID, but that was something that would have been pretty fun to try to do. You're missed so much. Hi JJD, how was your cruise? Hope it was relaxing. It was a lot of fun. Went to bunch of different countries, but yeah, I left in the wrong time. I did. I wish it was a week later, but it is what it is. Looks very good. I do like it. Welcome back, Josh. We missed you too, man. Y'all got 9, but deserved 2 points this window. There's a tactical L, guys. Let's drop an L in the chat for Filippo. Let's drop an L in the chat for Filippo. He came in here with his bold prediction, trying to piss off all the Canadian national team fans. But we got 9, and it was special. Am I going to Qatar? I don't know. I don't know, man. It'll depend on a few different situations. I don't know if I want. I don't know if I want to go to Qatar. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of do. So we'll have to see. Let me know if you guys are going. If any of you guys are in the chat or planning on going to Qatar, let me know. Welcome back. We need a tactical manager roast on the next council. The next CONCACAF council is being recorded this week. So there you go. Question: do you think the last window for the boys go for 9 or try to get some new players a look? I wouldn't. Don't take anything for granted. I think you line up to win. I think that Canada wants to finish top. A lot of us Canadians have been out there, poking fun. I think the priority should be topping the table. I think that we will. We're 4 points clear. We have a good opportunity to do so. But I would like to see a little bit of rotation. So I'd still say the priority is Herdman doing what he thinks it's going to take to get the W's. And if he wants to, like, for example, Ike Ugbo, again, another window where he hasn't got a ton of minutes, I would like to see him get a start. But more than anything, right now, I just want to finish off qualification with a lot of, I guess, positivity around it. And by doing that, they need to top the table. That's really the number one thing. But let me know what you guys think. That's a good question. And if you guys are just joining us today, guys, be sure to drop a like. We missed you as you guys were, as I was gone for a little bit. I know the groups aren't out yet, but how do you think we can make it at the World Cup? It depends. Let me know what you guys think. Put your comments down below. Let me know how far you think we can make it in the World Cup. I would like to see us get out of the group. That is what but it's hard to tell. I mean, we don't know what kind of group we're going to get in. There's some difficult ones out there. I like thinking back to the Costa Rica one where they snuck out of a very, very difficult group to, I think it had Italy, Uruguay, and England. So it all depends, but I mean, my goal would be get out of the group. I think that's a fair one. Hello from Quebec City. How you doing, my man? Don't elect John Herman. Any of you guys live in Ottawa? Any of you guys dealing with the trucker protest? I think it depends. Where do you think the last home game will be held? I think it's going to be Vancouver. I thought that I saw leaks that it was going to go back to Edmonton. I hope it's Vancouver. But I don't know. I could see them looking the fact that they've been putting it in very, very cold weather and trying to stick it there again. Edmonton wouldn't surprise me if it goes back there. I think it should be held in Vancouver, and I know that there's a lot of fans out there that would hope that. Here's the L's rolling in for Tactical Manager. Our 2-point window, King of the North. I thought this was the transfer window recap for January for Canadian players. Oh, no, but I'm doing that episode tomorrow, guys. I'm doing that episode tomorrow. So I believe tomorrow we're gonna get it out. It's going to be the review and ratings of all the Canadian men's national team January transfers. Then we're doing our Canucks abroad on Wednesday, or our Canadian men's national team abroad on Wednesday. And finally, we got a really special interview coming up. I won't let you guys know who it is. It's a cool one. Pumped to get him on the channel. And it's I'm not gonna say anymore, but that's something you guys can be looking forward to. A pretty cool interview coming up. And then the transfers one that Tony's talking about here will come up tomorrow, I believe. And then our Canadian men's national team abroad will come out on Wednesday. No booze in Qatar. The games are going to be boring. Oh, man. It's over 1K a night. I have to bow out. Yeah. I think Sebastian. I'm not sure if Sebastian's on the channel, but I think he's going to Qatar. I'm either going to go to Qatar or stay in Canada and watch in the pubs and celebrate with two of the atmospheres. Yeah. It's going to depend. I'm not sure exactly where the channel is going to be at or where I'm going to be at by the time it comes to the World Cup. But I want to do something, as long as COVID allows it, for at least when we qualify. Like, I would love to go to Toronto and meet up with some of you guys and kind of celebrate if we can. I don't know if I can pull that off. Or maybe I do it during the World Cup. I don't know. But it would be pretty cool. I live close to Toronto, so that's where I'd probably go. Can you really call yourself Tactical Manager? Where's the March home game going to be played in your opinion? I think it should be played at BC Place. I have a feeling it's going to go back to Edmonton. I don't know why. Don't forget to drop a like. Appreciate it, my man. Tactical Manager says he's a W merchant. The timing, my man. The timing. What's up, Josh? Not much, my friends. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Still enjoying the success that is the Canadian men's national team. We got some fun content coming up for you guys as well. Just wanted to do a live tonight because I haven't been able to do it for the last 2 games. Missed out on it. Not planning on going to Qatar, but perhaps Edmonton in 2026. Road trip. Yeah, that'd be fun. We are winning the group games. Canada's very close to being in pot 3. There's a few situations that are going on right now that could allow that. Would be pretty ideal. For the question earlier of how far do you think the Canadian men's national team can make it in the World Cup, we got quarters coming in. Out of the group, probably around a 16. I think most of us would be satisfied if the Canadian men's national team get out of the group. I think that's probably pretty fair. Getting to Qatar from pot 1 would be great. I live in Ottawa. How is it there? Is it a nightmare? I don't know. I've seen some interesting things online. When are we able to call up Jebsen? Oh, you saw my PJs. I thought. Well, I didn't think. I'm pretty confident that John Herdman's probably been in the ear, and some other players been in the ear of Daniel Jebsen to try to get him to commit. But I don't think he's ready yet. I think Daniel Jebsen wants to, and I don't know this. This is just coming from what I believe. I think Daniel Jebsen wants to take his time, wants to see how he develops. He's already done very, very well for Burton Albion this season. It got him a recall back to Sheffield United. Let's see what he does in the championship. Maybe he gets a move to the Premier League. Maybe he doesn't. I think he wants a little bit more time to make the decision to see if he's going to get called up for England, even though I do think he's quite a ways away from that. But I do think Daniel Jebsen will represent Canada one day. I just don't know when. How good do you think Alphonso David and Jonathan David will be at their peaks? I think Alphonso Davies will be one of the best fullbacks. I think he already is one of the best fullbacks. And I think he'll stay that way. I just the position he plays, the way he plays it. I'd be curious to see if he ever goes a little further up the pitch playing for Bayern, or if he gets a transfer elsewhere. Obviously, playing so high up for the Canadian men's national team, but he plays as a very attacking fullback for Bayern. But I think there's still room for improvement for him there. And for David, he's the one who I think has not a higher ceiling than Davies, but more room to grow. I think Davies is already phenomenal and will keep growing. But let's say like he's here and he'll just go up to there, where I think David's here and has got the opportunity to push up. And I think the next move he has will have a big say on how David does. If he goes to the Prem, if he goes to La Liga, if he goes to Serie A, wherever he goes, I think that will have a big say on the type of player he's going to develop into. Davies is already world-class for Bayern. David could be a top striker, not like Haaland or Mbappe level, but maybe just under. I think it's a fair statement. Canada national team needs to try different sport prep for the 2026 and see what we've got. With 9 points, how possible is it that Canada ends up in pot 3? I think there's a very good likelihood. I saw a tweet earlier today. I don't remember it off the top of my head, but it was a scenario of things that need to happen for Canada to finish top 3. Obviously, us to keep winning will help with that, but there's a few other things that had to happen as well. But I think there's a decent chance that we could pull off being in a in pot 3. Is the interview of parody one? No, it's not Greg Berhalter. It's not Greg. But it's going to be a cool interview. I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. Not sure exactly when it's going to be out. I'd assume within the next couple weeks. But it's an exciting one, man. Pat and another young player should be in the squad in case we qualify early and we can play these guys, have a future. Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, I'd like to see Corbiano back in. I'd like to see Patton back in. I'd love to see just get Daniel Jebsen in, man. Convince him. But I'd expect probably a similar squad to what we saw this one. Just maybe one or two changes, Corbiano being an obvious one. Welcome back, Josh. Need your thoughts on Ugbo's draw move. I like it. They are a City Football Group team. So Man City. Oh, I forgot that they were a Man City. I forgot about that. Brady, my man. Appreciate the knowledge you dropped on me there. But yeah, I'm going to get a little bit more into the transfers tomorrow, guys. I'm going to do a tier list. So I'm going to have all of the names, and I'm just going to literally drag them up to great move, decent move, okay move, crap move, blah, blah, blah. And then I'll rate them that way and get a little bit more into it. But my initial thought for Ugbo moving on is I love it because he had a very, very good season last year. And now he got the upgraded move to Kent, and it just hasn't worked out. He's got stiff competition. They play usually in a 4-3-3 system, which means that he's got direct competition for that one striker spot. And the funny thing is, though, he's been given opportunities this season. He's been given opportunities to succeed and to impress, and I just don't think he's quite lived up to it. So I think moving on from Belgium to France, a top 5 league where you've seen Jonathan David succeed, I think that's a great opportunity for him. I like it. I'm hoping it can lead to something else. But yeah, I like it all around. I think it's going to be a relegation scrappy fight, but I think the opportunity could be there, and hopefully he takes it because, like I said, it's not like he hasn't been given opportunities. It's not like he started 2 games and came on for 23. He's had his opportunities at Genk. It just hasn't quite worked out for him, and I think a fresh view is going to be good for him. I think they're going to go for full stadium and capacity in the province, with the league likely to cut spectators due to the Rona. That's a fair assumption. I think that would that not suit Vancouver? What do you guys think? I don't know the exact capacity and COVID restrictions or about the different provinces. I live in Ontario, and it's been an effing nightmare. But we'll have to see. Hey, Josh, how far do you think Canada can go in the World Cup? I'm going to say they're going to make it out of the group. I'd say come to Niagara, but it's just me. That's fair, my man. That's fair. I'd say Toronto just because it's somewhat close to me. It's a big city, but we'll have to see. I will be in Qatar doing my internship in the summer, so I'm kind of lucky in that way. That's very cool, my man. Very, very cool. Damn. I think Scotland will qualify. They're on a similar level to ourselves, I think. I have a feeling Chouanier could get a call-up. I tweeted this out a little while ago, man, and I am really excited to watch Montreal. Let me know in the comment now, guys. Put yes or no. Would you like to see me cover CF Montreal's CONCACAF Champions League run? Because I'm debating whether to do the live stream for their 2 watch-alongs there. I really am excited to watch Montreal play this year. I really am. I'm looking at that back 5 and all the Canadian talents they have. I mean, Pantemis or whoever, Reza is going to be the starter. They're going to have ZBG there at right wing back, Chouanier maybe at left wing back. Basong is there. They have Waterman. They have, and then of course the main 2, Alistair Johnson and Kamal Miller. But yeah, I don't know. I wanted to cover those games, but I was just seeing what you guys were thinking about it. I really wonder who will make the Canada 2022. When we qualify, maybe I'll come up with a video for it. My way too early prediction of who's going to be the 23-man or whatever it is squad for the World Cup. It's a good idea, my man. We have the core players already. No need of green guys. Jebson better than Flores, top Canadian prospect. I've said a few times. I'm not saying which one's better, but I think Jebson's closer to Canada than Flores is. That would be awesome. Definitely worth a wee road trip. Like a Scott Arfield in there. BC Place recently with their turf has been much better. I thought they would have got it when it went to Vancouver, to be honest. Or when it went back to Ontario. Do you think Davies is the best left back in the world? If not, who's better than him? I think he's up there. I'd say yes, but I'm very biased. If it's not him, I think Robertson's up there. I'm a big fan of Theo Hernandez, but I don't know. I'm biased, so I saw Theo straight red yesterday, man. He's got a bit of a temper on him, but yeah, I'd say Davies is probably number 1. What do you think is the weakness that needs to improve? It's interesting though, because, and like I said, I really like the interview with Daniel Henry as he basically went on to say everyone takes shots at our back line, but in reality, we have the best attack, we have the best defense, we're the best team in the region at the moment. I don't know. It's a good question because I really like what this team is doing. We got some shots fired at us, which whatever, we won when we played the way we did against the US. But what did you want? When we didn't have Steph, we didn't have Davies, we wanted 3 points. We got 3 points. I don't have much complaints right now. I'm trying to think because we've been winning. It's hard to look at a spot. I think sometimes the mid can be a little vulnerable. Sometimes we overthink it down the wings. Try to do a little bit too much, but all in all, this team has just been playing as a collective group, and they've been getting results. I'd say the back 4, the back 5, whatever we play, isn't a worry for me. I'd look in the midfield a little bit, but please excuse my ignorance. Hey Josh, I'm doing well. In what game in the next camp do you see Canada qualifying? First one, baby, right away. Congrats on 9 points, man. You guys are the real deal. Much respect from a Mexico fan. Football Kings, appreciate the love, my guy. It's pretty wild. I was curious to see what the perspective would be on Canada's rise from the US and Mexico. But I appreciate that. Because some like tactical manager out there. He's not giving it to us too easy. But you guys are just tuning in. Be sure to drop a like, drop a sub as well if you guys are just joining us. We are here to review the window, and it was funny because the window finished with 3 2-0 wins. We are on absolute fire. The last time Canada has not won was when we drew against Jamaica 0-0. We went on to win against Panama 4-1, against Costa Rica 1-0, against Mexico 2-1, Then Honduras 2-0, US 2-0, and El Salvador 2-0. We have won 6 matches in a row. We were 1-4 to start off. Canada has been on an absolute tear. First 9 points. And there's even a situation, I believe, if I read it correctly, where we could lose the game against Costa Rica, but due to other results, we could still qualify for Qatar. We are literally on the brink, man. Why would they put it in Vancouver now? I'm gonna have the same problem as last window. I don't know. I don't know what their plan is. If it's just to rotate it around, if there's strategy around it. I don't know. I thought I saw something around it going to Edmonton, but again, I do not know. Which teams do you think will make it out of the knockouts in Qatar from CONCACAF? Man. I don't know. That's a tough one. Because again, I don't know the groups or anything like that. But let me know down below who you guys think has a good chance to make it out. I think Canada, Mexico, and the US all have decent opportunities to make it out. But I mean, I don't know the groups, so it's hard to debate. But yeah, the top 3 in CONCACAF right now, I think we'll all have a good opportunity. Where would you rank our attack compared to countries from Europe and South America? You guys are just making me think. Let me on vacation for a week. I come back here and just getting drilled. No, I'm kidding. I like it. Yeah, it's an interesting one because I think Jonathan David is a fantastic striker. I think Kyle Larin is up there. If you want to include Davies in the attack, because let's be honest, that's what he does more. Tajon. If I'm looking at a European nation that has something similar, I mean, I wouldn't compare them to Brazil. I wouldn't compare them to Argentina. Maybe a little bit like, I honestly like our attack a little bit more than looking at like Colombia, Uruguay. I mean, I know Cavani and Suarez are still there, but I think we got a little bit more to it. But I'd compare it in that ballpark of Uruguay, Colombia from South America, from Europe. Oh man, can't think off the top of my head. Poland keeps coming to mind, but that's not a very good comparison. Maybe like around that Poland-Russia mark, something along those lines. I don't know. It's a tricky question. It's a tricky question, guys. But you guys were saying yes to do the Montreal watch along. That would be great. What would you like to see Canada achieve in your lifetime? Gold Cup, obviously. What about in the World Cup? For example, Japan, US are targeting to win the Gold Cup or the World Cup. That's a great question, man. And I'm going to do an interesting video coming up, but it basically just touches on my life a little bit and what it's been like to cheer on the Canadian men's national team so far, because it's been a rapid rise. I followed them for as long as I possibly can remember, and it's been mostly misery, very average performances, very average achievements, and then all of a sudden this generation kind of came together, and is really getting a country to come together, and I absolutely love it, and I love to be a part of it. And the rise is so quick. We're kind of strange to think only a few years ago where we were to where we are now, and taking 8 points from 12 from US, Mexico. I know it was a Gold Cup semifinal, but it was still a decent showing. I would like to see us for sure win a Gold Cup, but I want to be realistic too, because I don't think the US or Japan are going to win the World Cup in my lifetime. I don't know if Canada's going to win the World Cup in my lifetime, but again, I'm in my 20s, so maybe that's a little unfair to say. But I would like to see them be a continuous side to make it to the World Cup, which I think that they clearly will do. And then I would like to, again, just to see them. I'm not going to say win the World Cup, because I just think that's a huge shout. There's a lot of really good nations, but I want to see them be competitive. I want to see them make it maybe to the quarters and onward from there. That would be a huge achievement. Play for a medal. Maybe that's in my lifetime. Maybe I can say play for a medal. Be kind of cool to even see them play for the bronze. That gives you an opportunity in the semis. I don't know. Something along that, but there's a long way to go. And I'd be curious to see what kind of national team we're going to have in 30 years, because like there's been misery. We're on the right track. We're getting a league. But I mean, winning the World Cup, I think is a big shout. And I don't know if I can say that. But Gold Cups for sure, man. I would love to see us win a Gold Cup. What player comparisons do you have for some young Canadian men's national team players like Davies, David, Buchanan, even Larin and Sakio. What player comparisons? What player comparisons do you have for some of the younger Canadian national team players? Like who? Be a little bit more specific, my man. I'll come back to that question. Who am I going to compare them to? Like Jebson plays like, or what exactly do you mean? Vote your way too early 2020. Yeah. Let's see. Are there any countries you'd like to see us play in friendlies before the World Cup? That's an excellent question, and yes, I would like to see us play European countries for sure. Maybe even some South American ones. I would like to see us have a friendly against Colombia, Uruguay. I'd like to see us have a friendly against Poland. I'd like to see us have a friendly against Russia. Maybe if you really want to push it, get one against Italy, England, something like that. Probably ones that have already qualified, not England, or not Italy. Something like that. I would like to see us push on and see what we can do, because preparation for the World Cup is going to be very important. We have the Nations League that's coming up in June, but I would love to see what we can do, because we haven't had a proper friendly in a long time. When does the MLS start, and how long do you think Alistair Johnson is going to stay at Montreal? Starts in the 26th, I believe. The CONCACAF Champions League starts on February 17th, and I think Alistair Johnson will be in Montreal for 1 to 2 seasons before he moves on. That Atiba goal. See, kids, if you practice heading the ball, good things happen. That was something else, man. I think a more creative Cam type role. That is a very, very good shout. That's a very, very good shout. Which is why I think Patton, Diaz, Mitrovic, and Flores are intriguing prospects. They are, for me, Patton plays a little bit too deep to be a proper like center attacking mid, because we don't really have that. That's a really good shout, but we don't fully play. If Herdman decides to play a little bit more in the 4-2-3-1, I think a Cam would be very important. But considering we usually play in that 3-5-2, even a 4-4-2, something along those lines, it hasn't been desperately needed. Hoylett can drop in there. Another good one is Azorio, but we don't have that proper 10. That would be a beautiful one to develop. I don't think Harry Patton will ever play that high up the pitch. I see him more as an 8. He can play in a CDM role as a 4 in a 4-2-3-1. Marcelo Flores would be that role. I'm just not convinced that he's going to represent Canada. So I'd be curious to see what young player could potentially step up and try to take that position on their own. I'd say we're playing in a 3-5-2. Our central center back, Henry's not great anymore. The depth is a bit of a concern. I would say that. But like I've said a couple times, I would like to see Henry slowly start not featuring, and not to be, because I do like Daniel Henry. I like him as a person a lot. But when Vittoria is not playing, I'd like to see Cornelius or Kennedy playing that central role, because we have 3 lefties. There's no reason why we can't try one of them as a central center back. Alistair Johnson plays on the outside right, Kamal Miller on the outside left, and then rotate. Put Kennedy through the middle if you need to. How do you only got 7K subs? I don't know, man. I don't know. I appreciate everyone who supported us so far, though, guys. And if you are in the chat now and you want to drop a like or a sub, it is always appreciated. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun, man. It's been a lot of fun covering our national team in this incredible rise. Last loss, Gold Cup semifinal against Mexico. That was an annoying game too. Over under 5 goals in the World Cup for Canada. Do you mean are we going to score 5? To be safe, I'm going to say Canada get knocked out in the round of 16. I think that's a fair assumption. Make it out of the group. Give them 4 games. I could see them scoring about 5. Maybe 2 one game, 1 another. That's 4. So I'd say probably under. Starting 12, World Cup qualifying. Borjan, Vittoria, Miller, Johnston, Buchanan, Davies, Larea, Eustachio. If I'm doing my best 11, I would probably... Oh, man, that's tough. If I'm doing my best 11... I don't know. I like the back 3. I would go Borjan. I don't know, man, because you can't drop Atakubi. He's been phenomenal. Because I like the 3-5-2 or 3-4-3, and that would mean probably Azorio would have to be dropped. All right, I'll just whip one up for you guys. Victoria is the central. Bornian, Victoria is a central center back with Johnston and probably Kamal Miller. Beside him, the wing backs, yeah, it's tough. Atakubi, Larea, and then where's Buchanan going to go? Buchanan, Davies, and then David, and then you leave Laird on the bench. I can't even do it. I got Osorio in there. You guys making it too hard. I think Senegal will be a good test for Canada, especially them looking. Yeah, I think that would be a good test as well. The rise is quick, but if you look at the squad, the younger players are in a good position developing, making 2026 and 2020-30 very exciting for Canadian soccer fans. I agree 100%. 2020-30, you'd still have a 29 to 30-year-old Davies David. Yeah, it's crazy to see. It's crazy to see it. And we're going to be hosting or co-hosting the 2026 World Cup. So there's a lot of exciting times coming up for Canada. I don't think we'll win a World Cup, by that meaning England. Canada's style is similar to that of Chile when they won consecutive Copa Americas. That is. It's very true. And that was a tough team to play. And Canada's a tough team to play. But there are definitely some good comparisons there. Sanchez playing as a striker. They played that 3-5-2 system a lot as well. I agree with that. Making the World Cup every time should be the goal, with 6 CONCACAF teams making it, starting in 2026, it should be easy. That's very true. I want to see what Herdman does for the Nations League. Yeah, I think it's a cool competition. I really do. I like the Nations League. I like the idea of it getting more competitive games. We went a whole year. I literally, when I started this channel originally, I didn't obviously cover Canada because I didn't even cross my mind. Completely forgot about them because I haven't played in so long. And then all of a sudden, World Cup qualifying popped up, and I was like, you know what? This is what I want to cover. And it's been one crazy ride. But the Nations League has been a cool little addition, and I'm excited to see what Herdman's going to do because I think it's a good opportunity for us to try to get some silverware again, so the U.S. can stop forgetting about our 2000 Gold Cup. What about a friendly with North Macedonia? They finished second. I'd like to see a little tougher task. I'd like to see, like I said, like a Poland, a Russia, maybe like a Ukraine, Colombia, Uruguay, Chile. Like I'd like to see some friendlies with those type of teams. Who will be the next Canadian player going to play in the Bundesliga? Tough one. I'd maybe go on a limb and say Shaquille Marshall-Rudy. Just young player, good potential. Move to Germany. I think he was linked a little bit with Hoffenheim. Sweden's another good one. I hope we play Sweden, Croatia, Wales. Those are, Brady, those are 3 other great examples and exactly the type I was looking for. Will Wotherspoon be in the World Cup squad, assuming he's fit and playing regularly? I'd probably say yes, but that's difficult. It's coming up quickly. I'll have to do it. Once we qualify, I will do a projected 23-man squad, maybe 25 to see what I can do. But I tried doing it. I did a collab with Alex. I had him come on the channel, and it's tough. It's tough putting together this team because there's a lot more players to choose from now. Henry has no form to be with the team, maybe in the future. But I don't see Herdman leaving him out. Even without a squad, which he doesn't have right now. I'm not sure what his situation is at the moment with RSL. But he was still picked and he was still played. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't see a situation where Henry isn't involved with Herdman's teams. I want Canada to get knocked out by England. Seems fun when everyone else does it. You want Canada to knock out... Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. Starting 12, I noticed that as well, but I just didn't want to say it. Other than Henry / Cavallini, what player who has been called up for World Cup qualifiers so far is most likely not to make the final 23? Let's take a look, guys. Let's take a look. I'm going to go over to good old Wikipedia. Going to pop in the team, and I'll just go through the players. So I think probably Borjan Crepeau will be there. Take your pick with the third keeper. To me, I don't really care. Johnston will be there. Atakubi will be there. Miller will be there. Cornelius. I don't think ZBG will be there. I don't think Henry should be there, but I'm 95% sure that he will be there. I don't think Christian Gutierrez will be there. I think Larea, Kennedy and Vittoria will be. I think Piet will be. I think Eustaquio will be. Hutch, Kay, Azoria will all be. I think Frazier's one of those ones on the bubble. I think Miller will be there. Hoylett will be there. Buchanan, Ugbo, Laren, David. Cavallini and Henry, I do see being there, but I do really think that they should be looked at. And then some other potential ones. I mean, I'd like to see Dane St. Clair be on the team. That's just me personally. Wotherspoon's got a shout. I don't see Patton being there. Davies will obviously be there. Corbiano's got a shout. Maybe Akinola if he can find a little bit of form coming back. But yeah, I'd say those ones. It's a tricky one. Who's the next Canadian you think will make the leap to Europe? Gonna go back to the list because I think Alistair Johnson's got a good opportunity. I'd like to think him, Kamal Miller, eventually maybe would go, and then maybe Jonathan Azorio. Did you say young? I don't remember what you said. Did you say young? No, you just said Canadian. Shaquille would be the young one, I would say. Not so easy setting a starting 11, is it? John Herdman clucking. Yeah, John Herdman's answered that door every single time. What do you think that Canada has that the U.S. doesn't have? I think that's pretty simple. For me, it's a manager, and we make the joke, but to be honest, is there anyone from the U.S. who's watching? Because I don't think you'll disagree with me, but I see two big weaknesses with this U.S. side. It's their manager, and if you don't have a strong manager, man, a lot of times it doesn't matter how talented as a side you have, because Greg's been outmatched, and he's been outmatched plenty of times in the past, and he will probably be outmatched plenty of times in the future. But another big issue with them is a lack of a number 9. And you guys have heard me on the channel before being very harsh on like Josh Sargent. I like Ricardo Pepi. I don't have anything against Pepi. I think he got a good move, but I had serious doubts on moving to Augsburg and what he was going to accomplish there. Being very familiar with the Bundesliga, I would never, ever wish one of our Canadian national team players joins Augsburg. That would be one of the scariest moments, especially if you're a striker, when you don't get to touch the ball, when you don't get to be involved, when you don't have an opportunity to put the ball in the back of the net. He's going to have a goal drought, and he's on one right now. But I'd say 85% of it is on Greg, and then 15% is not having a proper number 9. And I'd say right now, if you're looking at form, PFOX should be the guy for the U.S. to come back in and hopefully try to score for them, because I think that's something that they need. Canada hasn't had issues putting the ball in the back of the net, and we've been very sound defensively. A lot of that's because of Herdman, how he gets his team to set up, what he's able to get them do. And this brotherhood that you hear so much about, it shows on the pitch. It shows people who would die for each other on that pitch. And it's something special brewing in Canada. And I don't think Greg has come close to creating that with the U.S. and missing a little bit of firepower up front with the number 9. And Pulisic's been struggling a little bit too. And I think given how important of a player he is, that has a bit of an impact, because our star players are performing. Laren, Hutch, Eustaquio, David, Davies, always clutch when they play. And Pulisic hasn't quite been there for him. Where do you think Canada should be in the world rankings? I feel they're a top 20 side, but again, they started so low. Again, this rise is just, there's only so much you can do. So, I mean, the rise is sensational. I think we'll be low 30s. Do you think it is important that Canadians support their own local teams in the CPL rather than supporting European teams? I think it's massively important that if you don't have a CPL team, you should just pick one. I like doing that regardless. I like following football, soccer, whatever you want to call it, all over the world, because I think every league's beautiful in their own way. But if you pick a team, it gets a little bit interested. But if you're Canadian, you should try to take a look at the CPL, and you should try to pick a team that you like. If you can't tell by my hat, before I created this channel, I picked the team. I was like, all right, I'm going to follow Forge because I live close to them. I work with the club a little bit. I also worked with York a little bit. And so, I was on the fence there. I met Jimmy Brennan a couple times. But it's important, man. It is. It's a great way to help this. You got to have a domestic league to help push on the national team and start developing some of these younger players and watching them take the pass like Easton did going over to Europe, like Joel Waterman did going to Montreal. It's important. I 100% think it's important. After qualifying for Qatar World Cup, do you think Canada soccer should set its sights on silverware in the Gold Cup 100% or the Nations League? I'm not too familiar with Easton. I just talked about him. But does he have the potential to play the Champions League and get a call up for Canadian national team? I think it's a little early to say that. I wouldn't shut it down. He's playing in Romania right now. Let's see what he can do there. See if he can get minutes. See if he can put the ball in the back of the net. That's a giant step to a top flight in Europe, in Romania, from the CPL. So we need to see how he adjusts first. But, I mean, he's a talented young kid. He showed that he can put the ball in the back of the net at the CPL level. Let's see if he can do it at this level. I missed Eustachio's debut for Porto. How'd he look? He looked good. His first touch, I think, it's somewhere floating around on Twitter, which it was pretty nice. It was calm. It was Steph. I want to see him get a full 90 in there to get his legs, but I'm pretty excited, man. I can't lie, Josh. I don't expect Canada to be this good. Keep it up. It's been quite the story, man. It's been quite the story. Henry will be deciding depending on his club situation. Have you talked rankings about where we sit right now? Could we get to 100 likes, guys? My man, I'm not sure how many likes we're at right now, but if you guys are just joining the chat, be sure to drop a like, drop a sub as well, and let me know what your guys' thoughts were. What was your initial reaction when you realized you were going to go 9 for 9? Maxime Crépeau to Europe soon. I don't know, man. I don't know about that one. I'm not sure if Crépeau will make the jump now that he just signed for LAFC. I 100% think he's good enough to play somewhere in Europe, but I feel like this would have been a good opportunity for him to do it, but instead he went to LAFC, which I'm excited to watch LAFC this year a little bit. Did a lot of work reconstructing that team. I'm not sure how they're going to do. That's why they intrigued me a little bit. Do you think Canada will be invited to play in the Copa America anytime soon? Desperately hoping that they do. I think that the potential has to be there for maybe in every other Gold Cup to kind of combine the two. It's a story that I would like to maybe do a video on with, like, maybe get Filippo and a couple others in here. Because it's just, I don't know, I feel like it's written on the wall, but that is the next natural step. We have Gold Cups every 2 years. Let's create one of them into something special like that. Patton will probably get in if he gets his move to one of the big five clubs in Scotland. I'm a fan. I think there's a good opportunity he can. I think he's been really, really impressive for a somewhat poor Ross County. They've been turning their fortune around a little bit. They've climbed up the table a few positions. He hasn't had a ton of minutes in pretty much the last month since his injury, but he's been really, really impressive before that started. Yeah. I'd love to be the third keeper until Borjan breaks his leg and I come screaming from the tower. I mean, Greg isn't that as bad as Tappa. He's not as bad as Tappa, but I mean, I think he's holding this U.S. men's national team back a little bit. I'm not sure if Tack's here. He was here. He wanted to make sure I wasn't chirping him with his 2-point prediction. What I like about Canada's team is that they show with Kennedy that he's learning and doesn't look out of place when it comes to the game. Makes me feel good about his future. I agree. Do you see Mexico dropping off? I don't see any developing players like the U.S. and Canada. I mean, with the League of Mexico is always going to produce young talents. It's just, I mean, we've heard a really good interview over on Rabona TV's, like talking to Hercules Gomez about it. They don't export players the way that they do. U.S. are exporting players left, right, and center, which is why a lot of these players are finding homes, like George Bello, for example. It's not like he was lighting up the MLS. He's a solid young left back, getting a move to Armenia, going to keep developing. A lot of the Mexican players don't get that step. So I think they're starting to feel a little capped in Liga Mexi, which is, there's a lot of Mexican fans out there. They might not like that I'm saying that because it is still a very good league. But yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know if they're dropping off. I just don't think they have that X factor about them because they still have a good national team. But there's something going on there, which is why we've caught up to them, man. Canada is 33 of the live FIFA rankings. Should be top 20. What was Canada's World Cup ranking before the qualifier started? I believe we were late 70s. Let me know if I'm wrong or if anyone has the answer, what we were before our first match against Bermuda. 78. That was very quick. All right. There we go. Do you think CONCACAF should create a trophy for ending World Cup at the very top of the table? No. I mean, making it the World Cup, I don't know. I mean, I'd like to say so. We get to add something to the trophy, but no. I think it should be played in knockout formats. The Nations League is kind of that. It's an accomplishment to finish top of the table. Going undefeated is a real accomplishment. So I think that'll be Canada's goal to see out this window. Should we get Atakubi to a bitter club campaign started or wait a little bit? I think that's a fair shout because he made the move from Norway over to Turkey and he's been a revelation this season. He's been probably the best left back in the league. He's putting that form over the Canadian national team where he's been exceptional back-to-back windows. He's been, I don't know how to describe it because the window before he was just exceptional. He surprised me with his tricks, his composure, his attacking. He gave me a whole other Samuel Atakubi that I wasn't used to, and he kind of kept that going for this upcoming window. So I think a top 5 league should be keeping an eye on Atakubi because he's still mid-20s. There's a good opportunity for him. Canada is 21st in the ELO rankings, Mexico 19th, and the US 22nd. True, the midfield is not the problem with the US men's national team. Sometimes when they play certain players legit, we know I've heard them on Twitter a lot with the back passing, but I don't think the midfield is there. I'd look at Greg. I'd look at the number 9 position. Canada was 73rd when the draw was done. That's wild. 73rd. Just before they started playing the first round, they moved up 40 slots, including for Windows. Man, it's a wild run. Thought we would finish 3rd in qualifying for the final game. Yeah. I did too, man. I didn't think we would be first. I didn't think that. I like to be a realist, but sometimes it's nice to be wrong, and I definitely was. When you look at the top 20 in the world, can we beat any of them, you think? Live FIFA rankings. I'm assuming without even looking, yes. Let's take a look. So, like, Belgium, because, I think anyone can beat anyone. Anything can happen. So, I don't know. Because anything can happen. I'm trying to think of a way to maybe make, I don't know. Let's just see. Like, Belgium, Brazil, France, Argentina, England, Italy, Spain, Portugal. Like, I think we could have a good run at Denmark. Probably still have a decent run at the Netherlands. We beat Mexico. They're 12th. We beat the US. They're 13th. So those are 4. I think we can go toe-to-toe with Switzerland, Uruguay, Croatia, Sweden, Senegal. Like, Wales is in the top 20. I think we could probably beat them. I think from pretty much, I'd say we could probably beat half of them. We'll give that because I think Germany's difficult. Netherlands is definitely difficult. Like, there are some difficult matches in there, but I think that this team can definitely go toe-to-toe with a few of them. What's a better pathway for a young Canadian player? MLS Academy or CPL? I'd personally say MLS. I just think you'll have an opportunity to have a shot directly at your academy's MLS team, but you're starting to see a trend with the CPL. It's starting to develop. It's starting to create some really talented players that are going abroad. They're skipping the MLS step in total. Some are going to the CPL players are going to the MLS as well. You're seeing some loan moves back and forth. So I don't know if there's a right or wrong one, but the fact that we have the option for both, I think, is massive for the development of young Canadians in this country. To be honest, I was expecting 7 points and was hoping for 9. I thought El Salvador would lose in Honduras. Respect for them to win their first since the soccer war, even playing Canada. Yeah, man, it was wild. I didn't think we would go 9. I said 5 because I'm an idiot. I thought we were gonna draw against El Salvador and US, and I thought we were gonna win against Honduras. We didn't have Davies. We didn't have Eustachio. I thought it was gonna be tough, and 5 points would have kept us on pace. But Herdman and crew like to look at me and be like, Josh, you don't know what you're talking about. And we're going to just absolutely run over and get 3 clean sheets, 6 goals for, 9 points, and put us with a point away from qualifying for the World Cup. Kelly is tuned in, says, sorry I'm late. If you guys are still with us, as always, be sure to drop a like if you haven't. Drop a sub. Appreciate you guys joining in with us today. Thought this would be a fun little way for us to go live. We're going to have the transfers recap coming up tomorrow with all the Canadian men's national team transfers, and our Canadian men's national team abroad episode will come out on Wednesday. And then a very special interview, which will come up at some point that I think you guys are really, really going to like. Do you like CONCACAF World Cup qualifying, or would you switch it to how Africa is running, 10 group winners, No, man, that scares the living crap out of me. I was looking at how the African one they were doing it, but maybe it's just because there's a lot of talent, like a lot more talent, but you don't realize how many good African sides there are because Egypt, who was just in the finals of the AFCON, are going up against Senegal. One of them isn't going to be at the World Cup. Ivory Coast have already been knocked out. I don't like that. I like the way we do it because I just think it's an easier and less margin for error. But that's just me. What's up with Akinola and his injury? I do think he'll get integrated back into the national team once he's fit. I just read a report. I don't remember exactly when it was. I think he's supposed to come in April. Is that what I read? Anyone can confirm that? I think Akinola is supposed to return from injury around April, so he'll miss a couple months-ish of the MLS season. But the nice thing is I think he's going to have a good opportunity to come back in with John Herdman and the company. But hopefully it was a horrific injury, so we're going to see what type of Akinola we're going to get back. Remember when the Suriname thought they would crush us? I do. We can be at least 5 of the sides in the top 20 on our best day. Yeah, I'd say at least. Like Wales doesn't. I don't know about you guys. Wales doesn't scare me. I think Mexico and US would take care of Wales as well. Germany is really 10. Yeah, Germany would scare me. I've been reading that Canada is 17,000, 25,000 to 1 to win the World Cup. A $10,000 bet would win. Oh, yeah, I got 10K laying around. Let's do a little GoFundMe. I'll split it with you guys. The channel raises 10K. We'll put it on Canada to win the World Cup, and if we win 170 mil, we're gonna have a lot of rich Canadian national team fans. How's that? Remember when 11 Yanks, we bear US and our backup MLS midfield, and then we talked about us bunkering down. Yeah, he wasn't thrilled. Pete wasn't thrilled. I'm curious to talk with him. Like I said, we're recording our CONCACAF Council this Thursday, I believe. So I'm gonna poke a little fun at Pete. See what he has to say about us bunkering down and winning. What would you choose as a CPL team? What would I choose in my CLPL team, and what do you think will be the next? My CPL team is Forge, just because I live very close to Hamilton. Worked with them a little bit in the past. The next team I'd like to see would probably be Quebec City. For me, that just makes the most sense. Even though I would like one in the KW area, maybe London. I live right in the middle of like a bunch of cities. I'm 45 to an hour to Hamilton, London, Kitchener, Guelph, Niagara. I'm about an hour and a half, a little less than that to Niagara way. So I'm just smack dab in the middle of a bunch. But I would like to. Not that I could ever go to a Quebec one, but I think that's logically one of the next steps they need to go. Are any of the CPL teams at low MLS level? I think it's hard. Yeah, they are. We saw Pacific beat Vancouver, and that Vancouver team played their best team. So I wouldn't say. I bet you if you put a CPL team in the MLS, I don't think they make the playoffs, but I don't know if they would finish last in the league. Obviously, you want Qatar from pot 1 out of Denmark, Germany, Netherlands, Switzerland, Croatia, and Uruguay for pot 2. Which country does Canada match up best against? I would take on Uruguay, to be honest. I think with some of the old legs in that team, the young, fast talent we have, only playing that 4-4-2, I would take them on. And I think Canada have a decent chance to take care of business. My CPL team is Calvary FC. Josh has a Forge hat. How has the CPL been formed in only a couple of years and already has MLS standard teams? That's impressive for a small country. It is. It's been a decent rise for the CPL as well, and they have Forge playing in the CONCACAF Champions League this year. In only a couple seasons, they have Forge competing in the CONCACAF Champions League. They're taking on Cruz Azul, so it'll be interesting to see how they can do. Yeah, I don't think he meant small country in terms of. Well, I don't know what you meant. Did you mean in terms of size or in terms of people? Because we're a massive country. We have 33 million people. That's a lot of people. But I thought you meant just. Yeah, you said small country. So yeah, I don't know what you meant there. But I thought you meant maybe like a young soccer history. And yeah, that's an interesting one. Because yeah, I mean, if you look at Canada, we're huge. We have a huge country. You know, what's going on, my man? How you doing? I think we'd smoke Chile right now. Yeah, Chile doesn't scare me too much. Chile with an informed Sanchez and old Vidal. Dave is tuned in with a donation. Appreciate it, my man. Hope you're doing well today. CONCACAF and Copa America should do a tournament every 4 years, hosted in Minnesota in February. Seriously, it would be a good tournament. I 100% think that, yeah, I think every 4 years, because there's a Gold Cup every 2 years. I think every 2 years should be the regular Gold Cup. I think they should stop inviting guests to it because I don't like that Qatar was in the last one, for example. I think you should have given an opportunity for an actual CONCACAF nation to come in and do it fairly. That's what I would do, but what do I know? I would like to see the Gold Cup remain the same. That happens every 4 years, and then the other Gold Cup turns into a Copa America / CONCACAF mixture. You get Brazil, Argentina, Mexico, US, Canada, Uruguay, Colombia, and make that fun tournament every 4 years as well. And then stop having guests invited. We don't need guests invited to our Gold Cup. The Gold Cup should be used to help the region grow, give opportunities to Trinidad and Tobago or Guatemala or whoever it may be to try to come and qualify properly without giving a spot away to a host. That's just my opinion. I did not enjoy seeing Qatar come to the Gold Cup at all. How do you think Canada would do in the World Cup? Most popular question of the day. I said I'd like to see us get out of the group. Is the CPL passing? So, I mean, I don't know how many of you guys have been to CPL games or CFL games, and I don't know if this is the same because I am not a football fan at all. I like watching it, but I'm not a fan. I don't know anything like tactically about the game. I was the kicker in high school. I didn't really know what I was doing. I was like, Josh, get on the field and kick that in. I'm like, deal. However, I'll use Hamilton as an example because I had season tickets to the Ticats and Forge, and Tim Hortons Fields holds 25,000. Every single Ticats game I've went to had 25,000 sold out, and the Forge games I've been to had about 5. So it's a young league, so it's not like nothing that's terrible. But if I'm looking at Hamilton by itself, no, because I know Forge has packed their first ever match because they gave tickets away for free and they got the 25,000. But I think their average attendance is about 5,000, and the Ticats is basically 25,000. They sell out just about every time. Now, I don't know if anyone's got any stats, if they've gone to games and I'm not sure what other CPL matches in a CFL team. But yeah, there's an example. So I would say no, not yet. You should see Hockey Canada's budget. What about Marcelo Flores? Again, guys, I see him probably playing for Mexico, but we'll have to wait and see. South America doesn't want to admit CONCACAF has caught up to the non-Brazil and Argentina teams. Yeah, there's a lot of money there. It's just, I think CONCACAF and CONMEBOL have a big issue with cutting the cake properly and sharing it. Because I think there's a lot of money with the U.S., Mexico, now Canada coming up, Brazil, Argentina. It just seems like a no-brainer to have like a tournament every 4 years, but I don't know. It is what it is. Italy's coming to the Gold Cup next time. Are they actually? What? I don't know if I love that. I wouldn't want, if we're gonna see an invitee, I wouldn't want to see someone who can win the tournament. Do you want the CPL to be a European style format with relegation, or America's? I think probably for now America's style playoffs, because I don't think, with the MLS not even doing it in a European type way, it just doesn't make sense for the CPL to. And then the other big thing is, if you give the risk of relegation, you have a lot less interest. We're trying to build out the league. I want to see it get to about 20 teams, something like that. And to do that, you almost need to guarantee, hey, yes, you can start a league, you can join in, you're not going to get relegated. I think once you start putting relegation in there, you put a lot of money up for grabs, and some of the owners of these clubs are like, this isn't what I signed up for. I didn't put a lot of gambling into this team. I think it would fall apart pretty quickly. CFL is huge in Canada. That's what I'm thinking. Because again, Hamilton Ticats have killed it. It was fun experience, man. They go crazy watching those games. That would be a great show, Josh. The Interconfederational Championship between CONCACAF and CONMEBOL. That would also give CONCACAF teams more competitive games. That's what I would like. Gold Cup, focus on the region itself. No more invitees. And then 2 years later, do the Interconfederational one or Intercontinental one. I said the Interconfederate. It doesn't matter. Between CONMEBOL and CONCACAF. That's what I'd like to see. Honestly, why is the Gold Cup and Nations League always in the U.S.? You can get into a big debate about that, but there's a lot of different reasons. But one of the facts is that they can host them, and they do. CFL games get way more TV viewers than even Canadian MLS games. Guys, we aren't even close to catching traditional sports in this country. Okay, hear me out. We should start something where the provinces in Canada should make their own little national team for players for the province and do a little tournament. That'd be kind of cool. Probably do it at the youth level, though. Imagine if Suriname was at the Ocho instead of Honduras. Suriname would still finish 8th. Josh, what was your thoughts on the AFCON final? I thought it was a beautiful story. Sucked that Mane missed that penalty, but then it came down to him putting it away for the 5th one. I thought Senegal deserved it. I love their manager. I love a lot of their players. They looked on paper the best team, and they've never won it before. So I was going for them, and it was a pretty cool achievement for them. Couldn't they just run Nations League winners in the Confederation Cup? I don't know. It's a curse for the U.S. They have played 6 away games in 2 years. That is true. That is true. Club soccer is very different from a fan perspective than national side ball. It's hard for someone. That's part of the country's growth. That's why, if you can support your local league, in the end, it will help the game. But we still have a long way to go. And I'm hoping to be a part of that, hoping to help grow the sport in this country. It's the number one reason I started the channel, mainly because I had no one to talk to the sport about. But I wanted to see it grow in the country. That's been a massive goal of what I've wanted to do and tried to do. And once that first Canadian national team opportunity came up, I jumped on it. And it's been exciting. I get to sit with 100 of you guys right now on a Monday night. Usually in games, there's up to 500. We've had, I think our record on a live stream was on the Mexico game where we won, and we had 750. So yeah, there's something special happening in this country. I'm lucky enough to be a part of it in my own kind of way. But it's cool. And and a big part I think will help get it even better is when we start growing this young league out and starting to fill those seats up more and more and more, and getting more teams involved, and getting everyone have an opportunity to go to a CPL game, because it's gonna be a big pyramid effect. And luckily, we've had a generation right now of players that made this national team the way it is, and I think that's gonna be the first big step to get people interested in this country, guys. But we came here to do our little recap of the January World Cup qualifying. I wanted to chat with you guys. I wanted to talk about our impressive 9-point window, and we've done that for about an hour. A lot of questions coming. You guys were just grilling me today. Really enjoyed it. But yeah, it was a magical moment. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do the last 2 watch-alongs with you guys. I was on a cruise. I know, selfish Josh. You can blame my parents for that one, but it was a lot of fun. It was somewhat relaxing. I was focused on Canada for half the week, but we pulled out 9 points. it's been a lot. It's been a lot of fun, man. It's been a lot of fun. But we'll have a couple other videos coming out this week. The transfers recap one will come out tomorrow with our Canadian national team abroad. A couple interviews coming up as well, which I think you guys will really enjoy. And yeah, we're gonna have a lot of content around you guys. We're gonna hopefully keep growing the channel out, keep growing the interest in the sport. You guys have been killing it as well, and we always appreciate the support you guys give on the channel. So one final time, guys, if you have not done so, be sure to drop a like on today's stream, drop a sub as well, and hopefully I'll be able to see some of you guys someday soon. Maybe in Toronto, maybe in Qatar. I don't know. But we appreciate the support as always. Take care, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Cheers, friends.